Hi, my name is Mark Everett of the Block Factory, and in this video I'd like to demonstrate the using the adjustable shelving block that I use for commercial work. In Within the Block Factory package, in one of the categories of millwork blocks, I have basically created four different sets of adjustable shelving: three shelves, four shelves, five shelves, six shelves, and then each one of them with the scenario of two standards, three standards, and four standards. That basically fits most of the different ways that that can be used. So in my temp drawing, I basically roughed out a floor plan of this particular scenario. Now what I'm going to do is draw a elevation of this particular end of the wall. So using a wall block that I have, I'm going to hit W for width. Right now it's set as a default to 4 7/8, but I know that this wall down here is 96, so hit 96. Then shift right click on my mouse, hit from, shift right click midpoint, and then just type in shift at, say, 48 inches at an angle of 90. That's my starting point. Shift at 96 and hit return twice. And there's my wall. Now, these adjustable shelves I have all my blocks here on the tool palette. And in MD2 from Millwork Blocks 2, just enough of them to fill up a whole group of these tool palettes. So here are my blocks that I use most of the time, and I have them set up where I have this section, and then the plan and elevation, and so on. In this particular case, I know it's 96 inches wide, so I'm going to probably need a 4 wide standard, or sure, 4 standards wide shelving. So first I'm going to do is fill in the plan. So I'm going to pick the plan with 4 standards, pick the intersection here, zoom in, and then all I need to do is stretch this to 96, or as I select on it, my quick properties opens up, which should be set. I use it a lot, so I have it set so it's static, and that comes up in this right hand corner. And I can operate anything to do with this particular block through this quick properties by just scrolling through it. Let me take this and stretch it over. Now just to let you know, this particular block allows me to hold the shelves a ½ inch off the adjacent wall or shelving in that particular area. And what I want to do is I want to demonstrate using the elevation block, but first I want to put a set of shelving here in this particular direction vertically. And so I want to go in here and pick a 3 standard, insert it, rotate it up, and then stretch that until it hits the shelf, and you can see that holds that ½ inch gap. Now, all I need to do is just take this particular shelf and copy it up into the elevation. Go over to my quick properties, scroll through, and you can see in this particular elevation right now there's a shelving along the right hand side. Now we don't have that, so I'm just going to continue to scroll until I get to this particular elevation. Now what this allows me to do is show you that the shelves actually tuck behind the shelf, and you can see that the standard here is 6 inches to the center, 6 inches to the center, and then these particular standards in the middle are set so that they space themselves so that these are 3 equal spaces. Now, this particular block is typically 12 inches, and I changed it. I'm going to change it back to show you how easy it is to change from 6 inches back to 12. And then the overall height or length of the standard right now is 66, and I'm going to change it back to a 72 inch. So what I'm going to do is open up the block editor. In the block editor, right click on the block, and I'm going to, now before I do this, this particular window is an action that uses to stretch the shelves, and this is critical that I demonstrate this. This window right now covers the 4 shelves. So when I finish doing the changes that I do, I want to make sure that window is covering those same objects enough so that it, when I get out of the block, that it doesn't distort it. And if that happens, then I can show you that in this demonstration video what it does affect. But basically what I'm going to do is take this using the stretch command and stretch these standards back up to 6 inches. That gets this to 72. Then I'm going to go in and move all these. I don't want to include any of this these parameters that I have down here, but I just select that with my ortho turned on, type in 6. Now we're back to 12 inches off the ground and 72. Now, right now, this particular space is at 12. Originally, it was set to 14, but for this demonstration, I'll show you how to change it. So we're going to go into the stretch command and stretch that space up to 2 more inches, making that 14. Stretch this one up to 2 inches to make that 14. And let's just check this dimension here. That's 14. 14. And I believe I left this at 14 anyway. Okay, that's correct. So I can set that there, hit save, exit out. Actually, before we exit out, yes, there we go. The window crosses everything pretty well. So let's close it out. And as you can see, the standards in the elevation align with the standards in the plan. Now, what I also did was this particular angle corner is part of the block, and it's on the depth point layer, so it won't print out. But what I did was I made it a 1/2 inch, and what that represents is the 1/2 inch gap that the shelf is off the wall. Just so happens this particular standard, which is a KV 185, has a 1/2 inch thick standard, so that's how it shows up. But we can do all our dimensioning down here lower, and you'll see there's one on the right hand side. This particular angle or corner shows up in the plan as well. All right, so what I'm going to do in here is show you how I basically dimension this block down at the bottom by hitting, I'm going to make an overall dimension from corner to corner at 16, angle 270. That gives me my overall. Then I'm going to come down here and hit this corner, and the end of that depth point corner, come down from here at 6 inches, hit continue, select the center. You'll notice it's 6, center, 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 and then rather than grabbing the end of the shelf up here, I'm going to keep the dimensions down on the bottom, select there and in the corner. And then I have a block in my symbols. It's called a dim arc, and it allows me to put a leader here and pull, with the ortho turned off, pull that dimension out, hit return again. That'll activate that insertion of that block again, and pull that dimension out. So I hope that gives you a basic understanding of how you use this particular block. There are lots of other things I can show you, but you can mess around with the blocks and try them out. And if you ever find anything wrong with the blocks that are not functioning properly, it's entirely possible. I go through a lot of testing to make sure that each and every portion of the block, there's several different things that this block can do in each visibility of the block. So if you ever find anything that's wrong, you can certainly shoot me an email, I'll fix it and get it back to you. But I've tested this one pretty well, and I hope that this one here will help you create your plans and elevations of adjustable shelving fairly quickly. Thank you very much.